teaching under Ryan Walters was not enough reason to make you want to run over and teach in Oklahoma, PragerU is now going to help him figure out who gets to teach in the state. PragerU, among other insanities, this was the curriculum company that had Christopher Columbus telling children that being enslaved is better than death. Oh! PragerU will now be helping evaluate teachers based on their knowledge of the Constitution, their belief in American exceptionalism, and an understanding of fundamental biology, which is bigot speak for you better not support trans people. Teachers already have to pass licensure tests and navigate curriculum standards and manage classrooms, and now they also have to pass an ideological purity test cooked up by a nut job in Oklahoma. And Oklahoma is facing an educator shortage, like crisis level. And instead of attracting good teachers, Ryan Walters is chasing them away as per usual.
I can't help but laugh. I cannot help but laugh. Mrs. Frazzled, take a breath. We're good, honey. Let's talk. I am going to break down this video in today's Parent Alert. In the meantime, welcome. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Parent Alert by PragerU Kids. We're looking at Wednesday, July 16th. 2025. I'm Jill Simonian. I'm a mom of teens. I am the co-creator of PragerU Kids here. We are on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, X. Please let me know where you're watching from right now. That's where we're streaming from. If you haven't already, subscribe for free at PragerUKids.com. All of our age-appropriate videos and lessons that teach kids kindergarten through 12th grade, history, good character, financial literacy, civics, and more. All free resources for you. And full transparency for all parents and educators, I might ask. It's all there on the website, so take a look, because Mrs. Frazzled, as we just saw at the top of this live stream, is frazzled over the recent announcement that Oklahoma State Superintendent Ryan Walters is working to require out-of-state teachers who potentially want to teach in Oklahoma, should they move to Oklahoma, he's requiring them to know the fundamentals of our U.S. Constitution, what American exceptionalism is, and dun dun dun, basic biology. Oh my goodness, can we just all fall down now in horror, right? Listen, I make light of this, but this is very serious, and these are very serious topics that we always bring to you. That is the purpose of Parent Alert, so that you can stay informed. I want to take Mrs. Frazzled, I love saying the name actually. Let's take Mrs. Frazzled's points one at a time. And I'm going to ask producer Jace here to pull up this video. We're gonna go slowly, we're gonna play, and then I'm gonna say, hold on, pause, and I wanna react. So let's go ahead and start from the beginning. Let's take a listen.
Teaching under Ryan Walters was not enough reason to make you wanna run over and teach in Oklahoma, PragerU is now gonna help him figure out who gets to teach in the state.
Pause! Okay, right there. I was gonna go further, but I have to pause right there. We're not helping him do anything in the state of Oklahoma. Ryan Walters is the state superintendent of the Oklahoma Education Department. He comes up with the rules. He comes up with the directives. It's called local control. We are literally happy that he called us. We are here to serve, and we have created the types of videos of factual value that he is recognizing as appropriate to share with teachers. Let's keep going in the video.
PragerU, among other insanities, this was the curriculum company that had Christopher Columbus telling children that being enslaved is better than death.
Pause! Okay, I told you we're gonna do this for real. This Christopher Columbus comment that she continues to bring up, and that, every single media outlet has, tried to get us on. Oh, you caught us red-handed. The comment that Christopher Columbus says that slavery is better than death, my answer to you is watch the entire video. This is from our Leo and Layla animated world history series for 3rd through 5th graders. For the 1000th time, I will say this again and again. credentialed teachers with masters in history wrote that series and that particular video of Christopher Columbus that everyone continues to bring up time and time again for years and years now. They wrote that video and literally included that line to show students that Christopher Columbus was a severely misguided man of his time. That slavery, as awful of a stain as it is on our nation and around the world, by the way, slavery, unfortunately, factually, historically speaking, was commonplace around the world in 1492. It's history. You can't change it. I can't change it. It is awful. In no way does it mean that what we say, in no way does that mean that we endorse any kind of awful thing like slavery. Watch the entire video. Next.
So, PragerU will now be helping evaluate teachers based on their knowledge of the Constitution, their belief in American exceptionalism, and an understanding of fundamental biology, which is bigot speak for you better not support trans people.
Pause.
Teachers already have to...
Pause. Okay, again, I will say this again. I love the way people project and especially the internet experts, I love the way people project what they think is going on as opposed to actually getting the facts of the situation. We are not evaluating anybody. PragerU is not evaluating teachers. We don't do that. We've never done it. I don't imagine we're ever going to do it. We do not evaluate teachers. We are literally providing usage of the free videos that are already posted to our website that we have already made and created and released for free for the whole world to watch about the Constitution. Watch them now. See for yourself. As for the bigot speak, one moment. As for her accusation on bigot speak, it's not bigot speak. It is literally biology. It is literal truth. I'm going to speak personally here. Trans people are in need of support in varied ways, but that does not translate to mean that I think it's okay or fair for boys to take over girls' sports. California right now is in legal trouble because of the Title IX violations that happened almost more than a month ago at the CIF, California Interscholastic Federation, track and field statewide championship title competition, whatever you want to call it. So it's not bigot speak. It's operating on objective truth and facts. Okay, continue with the video. Let's go.
To pass licensure tests and navigate curriculum standards and manage classrooms. And now they also have to pass an ideological purity test cooked up by a nut job in Oklahoma. And Oklahoma is facing an educator shortage, like crisis level. And instead of attracting good teachers, Brian Walters is chasing them away as per usual.
Okay, stop. I think that's the end of our video, and I'm going to finish this up. Has anyone ever thought that the crisis level educator shortage nationwide is partly because veteran teachers are leaving the profession in droves because the education profession has veered so far off the tracks with what educators are supposed to be doing? Let's not even talk about the child behavioral issues. I'm not even going to talk about that. That's a whole other conversation. That's a whole other parenting alert. But what I am going to address are the teachers' unions. The unions are politicized by nature, and the unions, especially in the last few decades, do your homework, look it up, start Googling whatever you need to do, look up the agendas for the NEA, for the AFT, look up the agendas. These unions are politicized by nature, and the fact that their politics have bled into the actual curriculum of the classroom and have straight up bullied teachers into directives that teachers are not comfortable with, maybe that's the cause for the crisis level educator shortage. Many states, I will say this too, have additional requirements for teachers. So why is knowing the Constitution a deterrent? Let's go to an article about this because the press is really piling up. Jace, I want to pull up that first article that I brought. Great. Okay, this is from foxnews.com. So if we go through this article, here's the title is Red State Will Require New Teachers Pass PragerU America First Test to Keep License. So what this article goes on to talk about, the Oklahoma State Department of Education is partnering with pro-Trump educational nonprofit PragerU to develop an America First assessment for new teachers coming into the state. And the article continues in saying the State Department of Education is currently working with PragerU to develop the assessment for teachers relocating from states with progressive education policies, which they must take in order to get a license to teach in Oklahoma. The new assessment will evaluate educators on three main aspects: knowledge of the U.S. Constitution, understanding of American exceptionalism, and grasp of fundamental biological differences between boys and girls. So, yes, what happened was Ryan Waldo, let me start with this actually. Oklahoma has been, if you're just tuning in and you're just sort of learning what is all of this about, and you're new to PragerU and PragerU Kids, hi, nice to meet you. The background here is that Oklahoma has in fact been a longtime partner of ours. The last year for sure, I want to say it's been a little bit more than a year. We have provided non-mandatory materials to supplement in classrooms in Oklahoma. So Oklahoma's Department of Education, led by Superintendent Walters, has in fact approved that teachers kindergarten through 12th grade in the state of Oklahoma at public schools are able to use free PragerU Kids materials in their classrooms, non-mandatory, should they see fit, as supplemental material. No one is forced to do anything. We are literally on the approved vendors list, so that should teachers find one of our Constitution lessons relevant, should teachers find our financial literacy series cash course relevant for middle school, should teachers find that they want to help teach state history in their 5th grade classroom with our Unboxed USA series that teaches about the different states and how we all fit together, those teachers, should they want to use our videos or worksheets or lessons in the state of Oklahoma, they are able to use them without a fear of being legally reprimanded by any politicized group. So that's what our partnership in Oklahoma means. So that said, that's where this new headline about Oklahoma's America First directives, if you will, that's where this is sort of rooted in. So Superintendent Walters came to us with his new idea to start teaching, or I shouldn't say start teaching teachers, but start screening teachers on their basic knowledge regarding our U.S. Constitution. He came up with this idea. We are absolutely always happy to serve. We've already have all the videos made. They're all on our website. Again, you can watch all of them for free. You can look up our Constitution series, our President's series. These are in particular our 5-minute videos. Everything is free. And people are going crazy about this. Well, why is Oklahoma making their, potential educators do different things than other states? Again, newsflash. Many states actually do require additional screenings and tests for educators. Here's the info that I have about teaching certification in Oklahoma. To teach in Oklahoma public schools, you generally need a bachelor's degree. Fine. A state-approved teacher preparation program. Fine. You have to pass required certification exams. Fine. And you also have to undergo a background check. Absolutely valid. I have a lot of teacher friends who are close in my life. These are all commonplace things. Specifically, it goes on to detail, this includes the Oklahoma General Education Test, the Oklahoma Subject Area Test, and the Oklahoma Professional Teaching Exam. So I have these directives here, which you can find online. It's public information. What is required for an individual to teach in Oklahoma? I want to add here, because again, the critics who are attacking this are, labeling this as some strange, extreme, radicalized thing. Several states currently, several states mandate that high school students pass a United States Citizenship and Immigration Services naturalization test to graduate, to make sure that they have a firm understanding of how our system works and what it means to be an American. Recent reports say that 15 states require students to pass this test for graduation. It includes 100 civics questions, and these states have implemented this requirement to enhance civic knowledge among graduating high school students. The states that currently require this are Arizona, Idaho, North Dakota, South Dakota, Tennessee, Utah, and Wisconsin. Additionally, Arkansas, Florida, Kansas, Missouri, Oklahoma, and Kentucky have similar requirements. So I don't understand what the panic is about. It is okay for Oklahoma to require certain things from educators and students. Let's go to the next article. I want to take you to this piece that I found in EdWeek. Education Weekly, if you will. So if we go through the article, now EdWeek, typically, you can come to your own conclusions. The EdWeek, it's for educators, right? A lot of teachers' unions go to EdWeek to get their news. The headline here is, want to teach in Oklahoma? You may have to prove you're not woke. If we scroll down to the article, I love going through these articles. Amid an ongoing teacher shortage, we already addressed that, Oklahoma announced plans for a new test to screen teachers from states considered woke. And it talks about how the state education department announced recently, last week, that it is partnering with conservative media company PragerU to develop a new certification test for teachers relocating to Oklahoma from states with a history of promoting anti-American narratives. Now, if we scroll down in the article, there's a quote from Superintendent Ryan Walters. We're sending a clear message, he says. Oklahoma's schools will not be a haven for woke agendas pushed in places like California and New York. I am a California mom. My children used to be a part of the California public school system. My sister is part of the California public education school system as an educator. Many close friends of mine are part of the California public school education system as educators or admin. I can unequivocally tell you that yes, there are politicized agendas and directives from California's State Department that require teachers to address certain things, to teach certain things, and to do those in certain ways with minors in their classrooms without parental consent required. I want to continue in this article. Heather Pesky, the president of the National Council on Teacher Quality, a Washington-based research and advocacy group, said, regardless of teachers' subject matter knowledge, such a test, referring to this new test that Superintendent Walters wants to implement for potential Oklahoma teachers, such a test, she says, could be a deterrent for some teachers moving to Oklahoma and who don't want to get embroiled in politics. Since when is knowing our U.S. Constitution political? That's my question. Why are people flipping out about teachers being evaluated on basic knowledge? Every single state should be implementing some kind of refresher course about our shared American history and foundation. Every single state. This is not political. Knowing the U.S. Constitution is not political. Knowing what American exceptionalism is, how we developed as a country, how we were founded as a country, how our westward expansion, that is not political. I want to remind people, I mean, frankly, all of us adults could use a great refresher. I don't care what kind of job we're walking into, whether it's on education, whether it's in education or not. Every single citizen of this country should have a refresher on our U.S. Constitution. Because guess what? Prior to coming here to work for PragerU Kids to develop this program 5 years ago, I was kind of clueless. I didn't remember much from when I last learned it and reviewed it in the 11th grade U.S. history class, AP U.S. history class. I didn't remember anything. So yeah, reminding especially potential teachers the tenets of our U.S. Constitution and what they mean and how those can be interpreted according to the time when it was written, that's valuable, especially when you're teaching children kindergarten through 12th grade. Drop a comment. If you disagree with me, I want to know about it. I may not agree with you, but I will always defend your ability to say it under our what? Bill of Rights, right? Okay, and I do want to remind people too, this is the fun fact. I try and smash in education on some of these parent alerts. I want to remind you of a historical legend, if you will. A story that I always find fascinating every time I revisit it, when Benjamin Franklin was exiting the Constitutional Convention. People were saying, what are they doing in there? What are they creating? What kind of government do we have? What kind of country did you create in there? And Benjamin Franklin's reported response, according to, many history books, is he said, we created a republic if you can keep it. And that was the warning that he challenged folks at the time with. The founders created a republic. Here's hoping you can keep it. Because what the founders created at that Constitutional Convention could not survive without an informed and knowledgeable, and dare I also say, moral citizenry. That is the fact of the creation of the United States of America. Now, on the flip side, California mandates that teachers experience educational workshops for politicized causes, such as LGBTQ++++, which divides students and teachers. I'm having trouble understanding why schools and districts can't also administer workshops that remind us that we are all Americans equally, no matter how you think or feel or live or whatever. One of our American mottos is E pluribus unum, which of course is Latin for out of many one. How is that not considered inclusive? And at the very top of what classrooms are teaching now, and at the very top of what teachers should be reminded of now before they go into education. I mean, you talk about inclusivity directives in schools, teaching our U.S. Constitution and American exceptionalism that uplifts our shared values, that's pretty inclusive. Patriotic education, I've said this before, is not propaganda. It teaches students to know our history, how to think critically with context, how to question the status quo if the train is moving off the tracks, and how to evaluate situations like our founders did. And knowing what objective truth is not political. Activism in schools is political. Teacher unions have showed us that in California and New York, especially the National Education Association, the NEA, a political machine, a behemoth of a political machine. If you didn't know, their recent annual meeting, as of a few weeks ago, the members voted to challenge the Supreme Court's ruling that parents had the right to opt out of age-inappropriate content in classrooms that might conflict with their religious beliefs at home. So the NEA is having meetings about how to usurp parental rights. That sounds like a political action organization to me. In California and New York especially. And since we're talking about New York, I'm going to share with you something that I personally think all New York teachers should use when they teach their 5th grade history, state history in elementary school. This is a recent episode. I'm going to show you something from PragerU Kids that solves the problems that we're talking about here. Let's go right now. Before I go on to the episode, I do want to ask you, drop a comment if you have, in fact, heard of the recent headlines regarding Oklahoma's education department calling on PragerU to help you to use our videos to share with potential teachers going to Oklahoma. I want you to drop a comment if you've heard of this headline, what you think about it, your thoughts. If you're from Oklahoma, if you have kids or grandkids going to school in Oklahoma, please let us know what you think. And in the meantime, I am going to share with you again this little snip of an episode that I personally believe that New York teachers in elementary school, New York teachers can and should be using when they teach their state history. It's from a recent episode from our Unboxed USA series. Spoiler alert, this episode is New York. Let's have a look right now and just enjoy a snip of the episode so you can get a taste.
Oh, it's super big. You can get it. You want to put it? Oh, it's... Ready? The dollar bill.
Dollar bill.
That's George Washington. And then the U.S. Bill of Rights and the amendments.
The Bill of Rights is the first how many amendments?
25? 10?
10! Good job. And what do you have there, Abby?
I think it's a cannon.
Little, people. People. From, whatever. Wait, what's the flag? Great Britain?
Great Britain. Very good, very good. Our state was important in the American Revolution, with the Battle of Golden Hill in 1770, Battle of Long Island in 1776, and Battle of Saratoga in 1777. From 1785 to 1790, our U.S. Capitol was here. George Washington was inaugurated here as the first president on April 30th, 1789. And our U.S. Constitution's Bill of Rights was drafted here too.
Fight, fight, fight.
Fight.
Abigail!
Easy, easy, easy. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, yeah, this has something. Here, you can pop it.
There you go. And the game continues to learn state history. So if you're from New York and you think that New York students are learning this kind of history in their elementary school classrooms across the board without question, you're probably wrong. The link to find all the Unboxed episodes, by the way, is in the description of this live stream. We have more than 30 episodes. It's all state history. It's on our website now for free, PragerUKids.com. This particular series, Unboxed USA, teaches federalism. It teaches real diversity of states. It teaches the concept e pluribus unum, out of many one, meaning that yes, we are all Americans through our differences. And I every single parent alert, I say this, the onus is on us parents to fill in the gaps of the education that is absolutely vital for our children to understand what this country is about. And summertime really is the perfect, I say this as a mom of early teenagers, summertime is the perfect time for us to fill in these gaps. I do it with my kids. I jam in little, you're going to watch this 10-minute PragerU episode. You're going to read this little chapter of, this book. I jam in history knowledge that might have slipped by them during the school year. They complain. They're kids. Of course they complain, but it doesn't matter. And I actually use our videos here, and I also use the books, which we're going to talk about these too. Here's a secret, I even use our Otto's Tales picture books that are for kindergarten through second graders. I use this with my girls just to, you know, again, my girls are early teenagers, but I use this and I go, oh, here, you can read this little baby book, because there is actually great information and factual education in these books. And, you know, flipping through it, they kind of laugh and they giggle like, oh, Mama used to give us this when we were babies, and the pictures are cute, but it tricks them in a way into actually looking at it, because they sort of think it's, you know, for babies and like, oh, they're better than that, and they don't see it as educational, but it is. So anyway, that said, I'm going to share with you right now our summer reading list, which is 20 books handpicked by our team here to kickstart or boost your family's knowledge and appreciation for America this summer. This is on our website for free. It's a summer reading list for kindergarten through 12th grade. And what we've done is we've broken it up by the youngest learners, the middle learners, and then of course the older learners. Can we pull that up on the screen right now, Jace? The website, just to give them a scrolling look. There we go. So we can scroll down. It's a summer reading list. We've curated it for summer. Things that are valuable. Again, broken up by age and grade to make it easy for you. 20 books total. And there's just a handful of books for each reading level. So I challenge you, slip this in to your summertime activities at home. It's easy, it's fun, this is not, you know, here's the deal, it's not dense reading, it's actually enjoyable reading, easy reading, light reading, but they're gonna get the information that, again, probably slipped them by. I want to focus on one thing. If you can go to the thumbnail that says the tip-off, Jace, and if you're able to click on that thumbnail that showcases this book, the tip-off, I want to show people a close-up of this. This is our first full-length chapter novel for middle readers. It's called The Tip-Off, The Chronicles of Jonathan Spencer, book 1, which, yes, we are writing more books. And this, the plot line of this is that we're very excited about this, by the way, because we just launched it, I believe, just a few short weeks ago, and immediately it hit, what's the phrase, the top of the charts. It was a bestseller on Amazon right out of the gate. We're so excited about this. The Tip-Off, The Chronicles of Jonathan Spencer, is about a middle school boy who doesn't really fit in. He's really tall. He feels awkward. He ends up joining the basketball team, and he learns a lot of really hard lessons that, yes, most kids should be learning in middle school. I want to share with you a few reasons why our team here developed this book. First of all, the hard truth is that about half of America's young people are functionally illiterate. That is data from the recent NAEP, National Assessment for Educational Progress reports. About half of America's young people are functionally illiterate. That's a problem for the future of our nation. That's a problem in so many ways, economically, so many ways. Another parent alert, I'm not going to get into it. But it's a problem that we can also help improve as parents. Another reason why we developed this book is for character development. This is not a victim book. This is not the victim book that says, oh, poor me, nobody likes me, I'm not good enough, I need a timeout, I need quiet time, I need blah, blah, blah. This is not the victim book. This book will ignite perseverance, determination, tenacity, discipline, friendship, respect. And I'm going to share with you, there is in chapter 31, this is a spoiler. In chapter 31, there's a part where the main character, Jonathan Spencer, first of all, I want to show you, it's for middle readers. It's a true book for middle readers. There's dialogue, there's stories. It's fun. It's very easy read for middle schoolers, especially boys, if you want to get your boys reading. But chapter 31 highlights this essay that the character Jonathan Spencer, an assignment that he had to write. And this is really the tour de force of the book. I'm not going to read all of it to you, but I want to read an excerpt. This assignment that the main character had to write about was to write about a basketball game and what he's learned from playing the game and learning the game and how he can apply it to life. And this little excerpt right here says, just like it takes all the positions on a basketball team to win games, it takes all the people in a family to make a family work. We all have to show up and try our best. When we don't, things get broken. All teams need good leaders. In basketball, that's mainly the coaches. In a family, it's the parents. It's the parents! This, again, written by the character, the middle school boy, from the perspective of a middle school boy. What other middle school book are you gonna find on the shelf in your library or bookstore that actually honors parents? Crickets. There might be a few, and if you know a few, tell me in the comments, but this is one of the few. This is one of the few reinforcing family values, as well as American values, hard work, perseverance, determination, rising above a victim mentality, and inspiring yourself and motivating yourself as a young person to try and do something that you've never done before and to overcome a challenge. This is what we want our young people reading. You can find out more about all of this at PragerUKids.com. Get it for your family on Amazon. Tackle our summer reading list. Again, if you're just tuning in, we kicked this off with a headline about how the Oklahoma State Superintendent is looking to share our PragerU videos about our U.S. Constitution, about American exceptionalism with potential teachers from Oklahoma to prevent, quote, I'll use the media's quote, to prevent woke educators from politicizing the Oklahoma State Education Department. And we are so thankful and happy to serve. And I've said it before, one of our most sacred responsibilities as parents is to teach our children good character, how good character itself established the United States, and how good character continues to march us towards a more perfect union. We know America is not perfect. America is not perfect. It never has been. We've got lots of stains and lots of faults, but in that U.S. Constitution, in the preamble, towards a more perfect union. It's a big line. And it's on us to teach our kids that, whether we're at home, whether we're in the car, or whether you are a teacher who does have a classroom filled with young learners who maybe, need to be reminded of it. Our kids need to learn to appreciate who America is, what she stands for, and why she matters, and how they are responsible for carrying the ideas that created and built America into the future. Because united we stand and divided we fall. It's not a cliche, it's a truth. That's it for us today on Parent Alert. Subscribe to PragerUKids.com for free. We've got new releases all the time. Some people say too frequently, delivered to your inbox for free for your kids. Don't miss an episode. Don't miss a free lesson plan worksheet, U.S. and world history, American values, good character, civics, financial literacy, and more. The links to the videos and the books that I shared with you on this Parent Alert are in the description. So you can go ahead, click on those. It'll take you straight to the page. And wherever you're watching from, we thank you for your support always. And even if you're a critic of ours, we thank you for your feedback. And we thank you for keeping our First Amendment alive and well in America. I may not agree with what you have to say, but I'll always defend our ability to say it. Right? Right. Okay. Thanks. Thanks, everyone. Until next time. Bye-bye.